What does it really mean to have a melancholic temperament? So many people confuse it with sadness or with being too emotional. But melancholy is not just a passing mood. It's a lens, a way of perceiving the world with unusual clarity. It's feeling deeply, even before fully understanding why. It's seeing beauty in quiet places and weight in things that others overlook. Being melancholic means having a soul that feels first, then speaks. It's like walking through life tuned into invisible frequencies, where small details become enormous truths. A look, a pause, a crack in a voice. Everything is noticed, and nothing is shallow. Melancholics pick up on subtle shifts in someone's tone, in a glance, in the quiet. Things left unsaid speak the loudest, and often they carry that silent knowledge alone. The melancholic heart holds memories like pressed flowers, delicate but still full of emotion. They carry the past in one pocket and the future in the other, always remembering and always anticipating. They recall exactly what once hurt them, but also imagine what could hurt before it ever happens. This emotional combination becomes a mind that's analytical and rich, filled with thought, with art, with empathy. But that same mind is often exhausted, because feeling deeply, constantly, is both a gift and a weight. Being melancholic is not the same as being silent or withdrawn. It's living with an emotional radar always switched on. Every room has a mood, and melancholics sense it immediately. They interpret gestures, tones, silences, as if every interaction is layered, coded, meaningful. But that heightened perception comes at a cost, because when you feel so much, you also expect more. You hold others and yourself to a standard of depth and honesty. And when people fall short, or when you fall short, the disappointment cuts deeply. The melancholic may seem calm on the surface, but inside there's a battle between ideals and reality. And often they blame themselves, even when they've already given everything they had. Perfectionism is another trait, quietly rooted in the melancholic nature. But it doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from devotion, a desire to honor what matters. Melancholics want to get things right because they believe that anything done with heart deserves full attention. They're not rushed. They observe, they edit, they refine. But perfection has a shadow. The more the melancholic wants to get it right, the harder it becomes to even begin. The fear of failure, of not living up to their own expectations, can freeze them. Ideas pile up, plans stay untouched, and the inner critic gets louder. A loop begins where hesitation leads to self-judgment, and judgment leads to paralysis. It's not laziness, it's the weight of caring too much. To protect themselves, many melancholics turn inward. They seek silence not just to rest, but to process, to reflect, to breathe. And in that silence, they find a kind of peace. They are not afraid of solitude. In fact, they often need it to feel whole again. But solitude is not the same as isolation. There's a line, and sometimes it blurs. The melancholic's inner world is vast, a space of dreams, regrets, questions, and beauty. They live more inside than they ever show outside. So on the surface, they may seem cold or disconnected. But what you're seeing is someone feeling everything, just very quietly. They are full of emotion, but often choose not to share it, not because they don't trust you, but because they haven't finished understanding it themselves. Many melancholics are misunderstood. Some are labeled negative or overly critical. But what looks like pessimism is often just a deep awareness of how fragile things can be. They see risks others don't. They notice what's missing. They question easy answers, and they're not afraid to ask, what if there's more? This kind of thinking isn't gloomy, it's sincere, and it pushes them to look beneath the surface of life. They search for meaning, for patterns, for depth, even if it means feeling misunderstood. Because what they seek isn't attention, it's truth. And in this search, they create. From the depths of their perception, beauty arises. Art, music, reflection, care. Melancholics are the ones who transform feeling into form. They write, paint, compose, listen, and give voice to the unspoken emotions of the world. Their temperament is not a weakness, it's a profound way of being. A rare sensitivity that, when accepted and understood, becomes power. If you recognized yourself in these words, know this: your depth has value. Your sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a bridge between you and others, between you and what's real. So stay sensitive, stay strong, and thank you for being here.